maybe in the last minute of your life, you want to be something more than a goddamn savage! Sanguinarias avantones. Annunziare mendaccio. Ego sum homo indomitus. Fearless right, insanity. He watches the games and seas. Real one, won't get in sight. He searches under up the shadows and rise. Like this, like being food for the immortal.
What's happening, savages? You are listening to Immortal Coil, your oracle of whiskey mysticism. Revolution is my name. It is Wednesday, the 27th of April, 2022, 6:57 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, West Coast, Seattle, and it is time. Oh, yes, it is time. Fuck that man. It is time, my friends, to get savage. What the heck is happening, people? Good to see you. Good to be around. Good to be back. Good to be displaying some forward momentum for once. This time, I'd like to ask you to lift high whatever it is you are imbibing and join me in the savage salute. Here's to us. What's like us? Not a goddamn thing. That probably tastes how getting stabbed by Wolverine feels. What's going on, people? It's good to see you, whether you are joining us live or whether you are listening to us on the replay. I'd like to salute you. Hail my savages. This channel and this broadcast does contain strong language, sensitive subject matter, images and content intended for a mature, 18 years or older, audience. Viewer discretion is advised. We'd also like you to know that nobody on this program or affiliated with it is a doctor or a lawyer. So though we may touch upon such topics, if you need advice, either medical or legal, please seek out an accredited professional. And I would thank you kindly for that. This broadcast does contain copywritten content, YouTube, because I know you like to fucking get me on these things. However, under the Fair Use Act, Section 504C2, Title 17 of the U.S. Code, this content is presented for the purposes of education, entertainment, through the use of parody, satire, critique, analysis, and or social commentary by means of subjective opinion. What does that mean? I'm going to exercise my First Amendment right because I'm a goddamn American. I'm sorry if you live somewhere where you are censored. There's been a lot of talk about that. We will get to that later on in the program. We do have a great show for you tonight, though. I have a couple of videos I want to share with you. I have some entertainment sort of commentary to issue. Of course, we're going to talk about Elon Musk, not to a retarded degree, but just to kind of touch base on some of that. And then we have some, I don't know, we have some interesting props that are going up for auction. So buckle up, tuck yourselves in, grab on your big girl panties, because we are going to fucking have it happen. Joining us, we got Tommy and those guinea pig collectives. He says he has a degree in pigotry. That's very cute. I hope your babies are feeling better. I got all the little footy prints and the nibbles going on. Kind nibbles to our, our friends, but bad nibbles to those who deserve it. Yes. Okay. First off, I wanted to start with something fun. And it's a good it's good that Tommy's here because I think he's really gonna dig this. I'm not sure if he's seen this yet, but if you have, then check it out again. This is great. This is a video. There's a series of videos actually that I'd like to. Well, there's two of them. Where some fan went back and animated a lot of in the style of filmation. He animated a scene from the Best of Both Worlds, and since we have the Guinea Pig Collective here, we were going to share this. This is a really cool video. I found this I want to say like last week, and it just really got my nerd boner raging. So check this out. You're going to dig it.
Directed, Deck 9. Damage report. Structural latching system integrity breached.
Prepare to take us out of here, number 1. Fire up the engines, half impulse till we clear the nebula, then punch it up to warp 9.
Ready phasers, load forward torpedo bays. Engage. Warp tractor beam is attempting to lock on. Fired well. Continue rotating shield frequency. Shields failing. Tractor beam has locked on.
There's no use. They've already adapted to the new frequencies.
Warp ship is disengaging, leaving at warp speed.
Maintain pursuit.
Warp vessel has reached warp 9. 9.4, 9.6.
Stay with him. Rager to O'Brien. Can you get a fix on the captain?
Negative, sir. There's some kind of interference. We can't log in on a signal.
Senior officers report to the bridge.
Sir, the coordinates they have set, they are on a direct course to sector 001.
001.
The Terran system.
Earth.
How fucking cool is this? All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Growing up in the 80s, we watched a lot of animation just like this. Most of our, first experiences with direct-to-child marketing for toys and such came out of Filmation, who cranked out some pretty good shows and some not pretty good shows. The one that this reminds me of most intimately, of course, is the Star Trek animated series, who I believe was done by the same company. Tommy's into retro stuff. He says, yeah, he's seen a clip of it. Nicely done. I really fucking dig this. I also realized that this was made by an independent content creator. We here in the fucking United Underground or the Fandom Menace or whatever the fuck you want to call it, do look for independent content creators, especially if they're doing something substantial, and especially if it's pop culture, geek related. And in the Fandom Menace or whatever the fuck you want to call it, people have a tendency to be negative and just like harp on the bullshit. So it's really cool to come across actual decent content made with passion and love, because He loves Filmation. He loves Star Trek, and we love this. This is some fucking outstanding shit. I was digging around, and the name of this guy's channel is called Gazelle Animations. And come to find out, he actually has like a behind the scenes video that's only about 4 or 5 minutes long. And I love shit like this because, you know, he goes through his process. He's, you know, just this young kid who fucking digs Star Trek and made this thing for us. So check it out. This is Gazelle Animations. This is about 4 minutes long. Dig it.
Hi, I'm Justin from Gazelle Animations. I made a little love letter to Star Trek The Next Generation in the style of a 1970s animated cartoon. If you want to check it out, you can watch it here. The style of economical film animation has always fascinated me. I just like how there's something very quirky about it. So the first time I tried doing this was when I was making a student film years ago, and I made a 1960s Spider-Man-esque knockoff thing that the characters in the movie were watching.
Ha 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 ha! How's that?
For this Next Generation animated thing, I wanted it to look as 1970s-y and Filmation-y as possible. Usually when I'm doing animation jobs, I'd use something like Toon Boom or Adobe Animate, previously known as Flash. Sometimes I use After Effects with a third-party plugin called Duik, which is fantastic for doing IK rigging. For this, I just ended up drawing the cells one at a time in Photoshop with a Wacom tablet. So it isn't actually obviously pencil, paper, then cells with ink and paint, but the intent was to make it look as close to that as possible. So Photoshop was catching all my, you know, if my hand wobbled a little bit or if I had to go over a line several times. Definitely wasn't the most efficient way to go about doing this, but because I really didn't want it to look like symbol animation, you know, when you have a piece of artwork and you're kind of interpolating it from two different places, I just really wanted it to look like it had been drawn completely by hand, one cell at a time. Painting the backgrounds was probably the trickiest part of this because I really wanted it to be an artist's interpretation of the Enterprise D bridge. And that overhead shot, like which I don't think ever happened in the Next Generation. I can't talk. I knew I had to have the elevator, the turbo lift door at the back behind Captain Picard. It had to be open by accident because that, of course, was a goof that they made many times on the 1970s animated cartoon. When the animation was sequenced, I added dirt and smudges, you know, because when they would photograph all these cells against backgrounds on the animation stand, people would be touching the cells, and I can only assume there was, you know, cigarette ash in the room just getting on the cells. That's what I imagine anyway. So I added all that stuff. One of the elements was actually just a picture of the dirt on this window. Some of this dirt was obviously animated so that it would kind of simulate when where they take one cell off and put another one on, maybe some dirt would get introduced or removed. As a last step on top of everything, a good dose of 35mm film grain was added. In the original sequence in The Next Generation, when Picard is abducted, the two officers at the front of the bridge are not actually Wesley and Data. I was surprised to see it was two background extras that I'd forgotten about. And I originally did draw some version of them to sit there, but at the 11th hour, I realized that this is animation. And of course, in a 70s Star Trek cartoon, one of them should be some kind of alien that's only really doable in animated form. So I replaced the helm officer with a Gazinti. Star Trek has had a huge influence on us here at Gazelle Animations, both from a philosophical and storytelling point of view, and definitely from an art and design perspective. Viewers who've seen our new TVO Kids series, Meekshi, might have noticed that the little pocket-sized gizmo that she carries around, that multi-tool thing, has a little bit of a design influence from Hua Chang's TOS communicator design, especially this kind of
half-inch copper
metallic
on it,
edge and the shape of the bottom like this and the way it kind of fits in your hand. This is what I referenced when I designed that. So there's probably dozens of other examples of Star Trek seeping into my brain without me even realizing. Thanks so much for watching this little behind-the-scenes video. And now, Will Wheaton, this is for you.
All right, fuck Will Wheaton. Shut up, Wesley. But this is the kind of thing that I enjoy. People with passion doing things from the love of their hearts and talking about good Star Trek and trying to inject good Star Trek back into society. I have not watched anything live action by JJ Trek, Star Trek, or whatever the fuck. And actually, in my head, Spock time traveling creates an alternate fucking universe where none of that shit happened anyway. So, to see some good Star Trek animated and delivered with, this kind of sincerity warms my heart. But it's also one of those facts that this guy is a, what does he have? He has like 4.73 thousand subscribers, I'd love to reach out to him and just be like, hey man, good job. We'll see though, with the way shit's changing on Twitter and whatnot, we may actually stand a chance of forming more mutual admiration societies, despite the way that people may want to paint us, which is one of those things that I'm excited about. But we'll get into that later on in our program. We just want to say, what up, Gazelle Animation? That is fucking badass. This little thing you did. Really, really digging it. Really digging it. Okay. Sir, on to the next thing. Speak of the devil and it shall appear. This is one of those things where, like say you're an independent creator, say you have a YouTube channel, say you want to promote it and get a bazillion subscribers and then go live on a beach and drink alcohol out of naked women's navels. Just say. The road to success is a very arduous one. And it's one of those things where you're like surfing on your phone, taking a shit or whatever, and you come across a 5-minute video that some motherfucker did. But if you knew all the behind the scenes things that it takes to pull a video together, do it convincingly, make it look professional, and make it have some form of impact, then you'd realize it's a hard road being a content creator. And it's even more difficult when, the only way that you survive is by like associations, which is, content creator cafeteria table, right? You find people who kind of sound like you and kind of do the same general thing you want to do. And you kind of bolster yourself up. You're like, yeah, motherfucker, get up and edit all day because it's a pain in the ass, but you got to do it because you're the only motherfucker that sounds like you, and you're the only one who can call it like you, and you're the only one that can tell the truth the way that you see it from your perspective. This is why this bothered me, this thing right here, and I discovered this, a couple days ago. That our good friend Wes Moody. Okay, now he's one of those underground motherfuckers. I don't know. We had a lot of titles. We went through a lot of rebranding phrases. Once of Rogue Entertainment and all this kind of shit. Wes Moody, who I have streamed with on a couple of occasions, and he's a really smart guy. He's really funny, really quirky. He got struck down on YouTube. And I believe that this was a fucking bullet pointed with laser sights at his third eye. Wes Moody is not offensive in a political way. He does have a fucking perspective, don't get me wrong, but he's not one of these guys that goes out and stirs the drink just to fucking do it. Wes Moody actually, even though he's silly, he has like a fucking message, and his platform was completely stripped away from him. Not even ceremoniously like the Houdini tablecloth trick. This is like a flip over the fucking dining table and point your finger in this guy's left eye and call him names. You know, and this is kind of what's going to end up tying the program together. In order for free speech to survive, we must have the platform and the ability to communicate our message. But when the platform is ruled by people who would prefer to socially engineer the populace, why, my friends, we have ourselves quite a pickle. Now, Wes Moody was monetized and all this kind of shit. He was actually on the verge of being able to do this thing for a living. Okay. Now, the road to 1,000 is a slow and arduous path. It sounds like once you get above 1,000, a couple thousand, then it's easier to add subscribers. But getting there is this science. It's almost like alchemy. You have to figure out what people want, how they want it, figure out your own way to do it, and then put it in a way that's both entertaining and endearing, which Wes clearly accomplished. But then if you make the wrong person pissed off because they had too much Kool-Aid seep into their hair, then you find yourself easily shelved. And Wes has a couple of options. He can either start all over again, or he could join a cadre of other channels who can get him back to where he was. This sort of thing actually happened to Lethal Lightning not too long ago. And Lethal Lightning was like one of my first fucking friends starting out on YouTube once upon a time. So stop by Wes's fucking Twitter page. All his info is up there on your screen. Give him a holler. Tell him Coil sent you. Tell him what up, whatever. Tell him this fucking wig looks tacky, because it kind of looks tacky. All right. We're going to move on to some quote unquote news items. I'm not too much into news items as it pertains to news, because I don't think news should be items. I think it should be dinner table topics, you know. And I hope not that gone are the days where everybody sits down at the dinner table and, you know, Bob, Jimmy, Tommy, Susie, Mary, how was your fucking day? What'd you talk about at school? And then it turns into something instructive, you know? And as we examine this, the big idea of the night, the fact that the nuclear family is under attack, and the fact that traditional ideas of, I don't know, discourse and education and the impartation of generational wisdom is being farmed right now. It seems that the push is to take that away from the parents and put it more in the hands of civil servants, public servants, and the government and media in general. And that is a very dangerous thing, because they want you to beat their drum and they don't care how they do it. You know, it's one of those things where, I don't know, maybe that Florida fucking thing that they were talking about, the don't say gay, and the only people who say gay or who don't say gay are media moguls. That's a very specific example of what I'm talking about. The ability for you to teach your young children what you want in the manner that you deem appropriate for their stages of development, right? If that choice is taken away from you and put into the hands of public domestic vis-a-vis school or radio or TV or, you know, just like I saw this stupid video where there was like a guy in a monkey suit playing a guitar at a library going, hey, guess what? You know, there's butt fucking manuals in the back fucking corner of this library, you know? And it's just shit that that is infuriating, because as a parent, you should be able to control the environment of your child, but you can't, and they don't want you to. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and jump onto the next fucking topic, because I could talk about this all day. I'll have ample examples of ways to do that later on in the site. I see we got Decepticons Cave of Villains. And he is looking to be dubbed Sir Decepticon of Villains. Yes, sir. Actually, that's not a bad idea. It's just going to take a couple moments for me to pull that up. Talk amongst yourselves. Pow, pow, pow. I now dub the Sir Decepticon Cave of Villains. Use your wrench wisely. Supreme Heretic in the house. He says, sorry to be late. Hey, not a problem, sir. One of the things that I accept wholeheartedly is that I am broadcasting on a Wednesday, which is like the most terrible time to broadcast, apparently, according to algorithms. But it's like one of those things. I think if I consistently broadcast on Wednesday, eventually people are going to discover that this is the place to be on Wednesday. Yes. Supreme Heretic in the house. He is another OG fucking shoot from the hip motherfucker. He will slap you with the truth like a big gigantic wang across your face. And that is not an Asian joke, by the way. Everybody Wang Chung tonight. All right. I would like to take this opportunity to talk to you a little bit about Star Wars. I know, Star Wars, the Star Horror. That's not the Star Wars I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to talk to you about this shit. The fact that Hayden Christensen watched the Clone Wars and Rebels to prepare for Obi-Wan Kenobi, which drops in about just about a month. Okay. Now, on the one hand, I do want to see the show, but on the other hand, I am vexed. Savages, I am vexed because all paths lead to the sequel trilogy. It is some fucking horse shit. It is not the thing that I signed up for necessarily. There are several plot things that I hope are not as literal as they might sound. I am open to Obi-Wan fighting Darth Vader again if it's like a flashback sequence or if it's a nightmare, like a Force nightmare. I think the idea of them squaring off once again before the events of Episode 4 is a folly, you know. And if Disney or whoever, Lucasfilm, thinks that it's a long forgotten generation ago quote from a, you know, it's just shoddy writing. But, and I don't think Hayden Christensen is a method actor. I don't think he is a yeah. Yes, sounds good. Supreme Heretic, Coil, shoot me the link. I have something for us to discuss. Yes, sir. I will do that. Years. Actually, a lot of the shit that I have on the platform tonight, some of it's really super fun, but there's going to be some chance to get the wings stretched. I'm going to actually throw this in the core group, if you know what I'm talking about. So go ahead and hop on, and we'll parlay. Okay. Tommy's bouncing. He's like, yeah, I'm done listening to Disney Star Wars. Hey, not a big deal, buddy. Hayden Christensen watched the Clone Wars and Rebels to prepare for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay, now Clone Wars, Tommy, you asshole. Clone Wars was not Disney Star Wars. Clone Wars, except the last final moments of season 7, was completely produced by George Lucas Star Wars. Now, Rebels, yeah, that was a Disney project. However, it was under the auspices of people who give a shit more about Star Wars than the people hawking it at this point. So Hayden Christensen showing some dedication, some actual fucking study time, some bookworm time. Now, this is a couple of the design elements as the story progresses. This is the Clone Wars model. It says, as if the fandom wasn't already going impatient with the excitement over Hayden Christensen's return as Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, the actor has revealed that he actually did his homework before taking the role again after 20 years. In a recent chat with Entertainment Weekly, Obi-Wan Kenobi leads Ewan McGregor and Christensen talks about the prep work they did before going back to the set of a galaxy far, far away. And this thing obviously wasn't paused. It says, and while the title actor watched the entire Skywalker saga in preparation for the old Ben Kenobi again, his co-star went even further and watched the Clone Wars and Rebels. Of course, that's not to say Ewan McGregor didn't go the extra mile when it came to Obi-Wan, but given the special face and place, in Dave Filoni's The Clone Wars and Rebels retain in the hearts of Star Wars fans, they'll be pleased to know that Hayden will also be channeling a bit of Matt Lanter, Anakin's voice actor in the animated shows, for his reprisal. Now that's interesting. That's interesting. We're going to bring on Drew, the Supreme Heretic himself. How are you doing, my friend?
Whoa, what's going on, bro?
Well, we're talking a little bit about Disney Star Wars. I know it's not a patriotic chest beating thing. However, there is some opportunity here to discuss approach and social engineering and maybe what they want us to think versus what's going on. How the fuck are you doing, sir? Lay some truth on us.
I'm not gonna watch this, dude. Come on, really? You know, it's and listen, on this one, I completely side with like people like Alora and Steeg and you know, this just goes so far beyond shooting Alora in the ass that no, man, I'm not even doing it. I'm not even with this shit. And you know that this is going to be, you know, whatever chick they want to pair Obi-Wan up with, where she's going to be leading him around by the dick most of the fucking series. You know, like, oh, go on this adventure. Go on this adventure. Fuck you, you know.
There's supposed to be some kind of female Inquisitor story arc from what I've been reading about this. You know,
I don't give rat's ass, because like I said, it's gonna shit all over the friggin' lore, dude, and I'm not with that. I'm not fucking with that.
So is that to say that you believe that we'll see suited Darth Vader versus middle-aged to late?
Yeah, they'll do it because they think, oh, it's gonna bring in views. It's gonna fucking member berries. No, what you're doing is you're shitting all over the lore, and you're going to it's already the fans that are pissed off about the fact that it's already jumped the fucking shark. All right, people are just going to be even more pissed off. So yeah, that's crazy. But the thing I came on to talk with you about is God, dude, this fucking article. Oh my God, this fucking article. Now, we talked about it a little bit on Scotty's show, but because Culture found this. Thank you to Culture Casino for finding this. But dude, this fucking article. Look at this shit.
Experts warn about rising extremism in gaming. Rising extremism. I don't know, man. I've played some pretty extreme games, and that's even before like PlayStation and all that shit came out. So
this is from Axios, so you know what you're gonna.
This.
This is from Axios, so you know what the fuck you're gonna get from Axios because they're a left-leaning trash site, right? But this article is just so far beyond the realm of absurdity that it's not funny. So check this out. Far-right extremists are a growing presence in gaming, researchers have found, while the industry's hidden metrics, lackluster content moderation, and head-in-the-sand attitudes get in the way of assessing and combating the problem.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my God. So, why it matters. Gaming and game-adjacent platforms have grown into some of the largest entertainment industries in the world, leading to massive opportunities for recruitment and organizing by extremist groups. Because let me tell you, folks, every time I sat down and played Ghost Recon Wildlands, boy, I just wanted to go and jump into a terror cell.
That's the only logical option after you've beat the third stage boss battle. You got to decide where you're going to throw your fucking hat and get to it.
I mean, every time I play Tom Clancy's The Division, boy, I wanted to just join one of the myriad fucking groups in that game. My God, are you seriously? What the hell?
This thing reads like a terrible PowerPoint, plot line.
Oh, it gets better. A December 2021 report from the Extremism and Gaming Research Network, which, hey, if you want to make a buck, all you have to do is make a bullshit watchdog group these days, right? So the EGRN found that innovative efforts to prevent and counter violent extremism in gaming spaces are, quote, nearly undetectable. State of play. Extremism in games is a, quote, growing threat. Alex Newhouse, the deputy director at the Center on Terrorism, Extremism, and Counterterrorism, said in a games developers conference talk last month. Yeah.
You know what's worse for you is rap music. I remember rap music in the 90s were supposed to, do the same kind of things to you. So.
Games are becoming increasingly social. Those social hooks provide the structures and infrastructure for extremists to organize and mobilize and spread their hateful and extreme ideologies, Newhouse said. Really? Because, last I checked, when, I'm doing a raid in Star Wars The Old Republic, you're likely to have people cussing. You're likely to have people saying extreme things because they're pissed because the boss is being a dick. Not because they want to go out and oh gee, that son of a bitch boss, I'm gonna blow up a government building because I can't beat this thing.
Because naturally that makes you want to slit your grandma's throat and
Jesus, man, I mean, it gets better this year. What's happening? And this is a bad PowerPoint presentation. Look how they bolded this. Oh my God.
You should animate this to some trumpet and tuba trombone kind of comical music.
Well, this next statement, dude, you think you're laughing now? You're going to laugh out loud at this one. Exactly. Yeah, cue the music because here it comes. In games stretching from military shooters like Call of Duty to open creative environments like Roblox.
Yeah. Right?
Extremist groups spread abusive messages and foster relationships.
You're going to see some slogans. Yeah. Geez. This is insane, dude.
Somebody painted the Anarchy A symbol on that Minecraft home.
Somebody knocked over my house with a dinosaur limb. I don't know.
Oh my God! Somebody's playing Rust and they get their base rated and they turn extremist because of it.
Yeah, Among Us is going to corrupt the minds of our school-age children. Worse. Oh, go ahead.
Experts like Rachel Cowart, nice name, research director at quote Take This, whatever the fuck Take This is, have found that games can create unique relationships due to the cooperative, stimulating experiences they present. Friendships are closer, long-lasting, and form faster in other spaces on the internet, she told Axios. Gee, you think? Newhouse said it was relatively easy to find signs of neo-Nazi, here we go, and far-right fascist groups on Roblox, Discord, Games Marketplace, Steam, and other platforms. Yeah.
You're going to let your kid play games with Nazis.
Because last time I checked on Steam, I saw a bunch of neo-Nazi jargon on there when I was looking for a new game to buy. Okay.
I'm trying to get a new diamond or whatever, and then somebody's walking up behind me going, Hell Hydra.
Yeah. Since much of the player data is private, researchers say they lack detailed knowledge of which games or platforms extremists use most for these activities. Probably because there aren't any. Nor, according to Cowart, has there been overt cooperation with many studios to share that data. Yes, because studios don't have the fucking data because there aren't any.
That's all made up bullshit, dude. Yeah. This is such a bad article. Who got paid to write this? I mean,
let's see. Some dude named Peter Allen Clark.
And that's the most generic name ever. Can you imagine you enjoy writing, you did it since you were a teenager or whatever, and then you have to go work for Axios? What the fuck is that about?
Dude, yeah, the Entertainment Software Association, the leading industry group for games, declined to comment. Yeah, because why are they going to entertain such stupid fucking dumbass idea? Oh my God.
The intrigue.
We know that the big, giant social media companies like Google, Facebook, Twitter have dedicated counterterrorism teams that are working on this day in and day out, Newhouse said. We also know that video games simply just don't often have the resources to stand up with counterterrorism teams specifically, or don't have the expertise necessary to do so. Oh my God, because there isn't any!
No, and then there's the other side.
I mean, yeah.
The inside of the brown eye.
and this is just, like I said, that they asked people we abhor extremist ideologies and have zero tolerance for extremist content of any kind on Roblox, said Remy Mallon, VP of Trust and Safety Ops at Roblox. in a statement to Axios.
Mhm.
Because of the swift, proactive steps we take, extremist content is extremely rare on our platform, and therefore, for the vast majority of the Roblox community who do not seek out such content, it is very unlikely they would be exposed to it. Yet again, because there is none.
Can you imagine the emergency like board meeting to, oh my God, we have to address these rumors and these fallacies and this. We got to put out a statement, folks.
Then they asked the Discord people about it. Discord has a zero tolerance policy towards hate and violent extremism of any kind. A Discord spokesperson told Axios. No shit, they don't like free speech either because Discord just changed their policies for, quote, misinformation. But so you won't see it on there because they have gone totally left wing. But anyway, when we come across such activity, we take immediate action, including banning users, shutting down servers, and engaging with authorities when appropriate. Well, what the fuck, man? There is none of this shit on there. And then this is, again, and this is what I hate about these fucking left-wing rags, dude. This is like, all of this shit is a fishing expedition of garbage.
It totally is. They are creating, and we're seeing this more and more in the fucking mainstream media, and they're kind of dancing around the subject, but I think that it's painfully obvious.
Well,
that,
you know what they love to do, bro. Okay, what do they love to do? Make a problem and then come up with a solution and pat themselves on the back and say, look, we stopped violent extremism.
Absolutely. Problem, reaction, solution. Yes, we're going to set up something to make you react the way that we want you to so that we can push forward with our fucking policy we wanted to implement in the first place.
Dude, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. And that article took the fucking cake. I mean, my God, dude. Like, we would never put something like that out at fucking Bounding. I mean, if I wrote something that stupid, man, my boss, John Trent, would be like, dude, have you been smoking?
He would check you right away, yeah.
He would be like, what's wrong with you? Come on, man, this ain't your usual.
What's the last thing you wrote for Bounding? Where can we find you and how can we support you?
Oh, fuck, I haven't written anything for Bounding in a minute, dude. But, because I've been so busy worried about the
personal shit.
Yeah, with the shit since my mom's died. So I've just been dealing with everything, and kind of working on my channel because that's like kind of the easiest thing to do in between. Yeah,
I hear you.
So I mean, you can find my channel, youtube.com/SupremeHeretic. You can see my Tuesday show, which is that's United Resistance. That's the fun show where we go balls deep and just say what we want and laugh at the idiots on the left like this. And yeah, this is great because there's never-ending material.
Oh, for sure. Well, we're about to get into some of that. Did you ever watch Hercules back in the 90s, man? With Kevin Sorbo?
Yeah, Sorbo's awesome, dude.
Yeah. I found this fucking shit, and it's really cool. I got to give props to Ryan Kennel for sort of turning me on to this. This is Twitchy, and it's funny because I tried to find a generic resource for this thing, but like so many people in the left-owned media are just butthurt about this guy that there is no fair shake for him. And I think like the theme of the week is that everybody should be able to say what the fuck they mean. And, at least if you disagree, you can be like, yeah, you're a dick and fuck off. But you have the right and the space to say what it is that you feel is your truth at the time. So this thing comes from a website called Twitchy. It says, so mad. Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah, I follow the one chick I think that's in charge of that site.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, Polita Bunny. She's awesome.
That is sweet. This is 11:01 a.m. April 24 by Sam Jenny. She has, shit going on. It says Kevin Sorbo made a joke that hit both CNN Plus and the pronoun horde from hell. Hey, man, it's not every day we get to see someone enrage so many people with such a simple tweet. we'd give out a Twitchy ribbon or something if Kevin would actually care about it. They're trying to suck up to Kevin. You know, I'd be Kevin's buddy, dude. I'd be like, you made some good TV in the fucking 90s, dude.
Dude, Sorbo's cool as shit. You know, it's too bad that you know, we teamed up with with Xena. Too bad fucking Lucy Lawless ain't like that. Because I actually like Lucy Lawless. But she's like a lefty moonbat, dude. You know.
She is. I know like a lot of people of that persuasion like to pretend that Xena and Gabrielle were girlfriends, but
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that too.
I would pretend that they're girlfriends sometimes, but you know, she like hopped on Hercules' fucking dick like a lot. So yeah. So okay. Just know we've awarded Kevin for this one. He sends out a tweet from his blue check mark fucking thing, which might actually mean something now in light of all this Elon Musk's thing. If CNN Plus had pronouns, they'd be was, were. Boom.
That's great.
Fire.
That's great.
And this article says 2/funny and ouch. So much ouch. We're not sure who that hit harder. Okay, we think it hit CNN Plus harder, but it was those pronoun people who lost their damn minds over this tweet. Those, and this is like capital, so I don't even know how to say it. Those aren't even pronouns, you big, meaty, and stupid head All right. I don't know who the fuck Buck Sexton is. Who's Buck Sexton?
Actually, I listened to him and Clay Travis, the guy that runs Outkick.
Okay.
And they're on in the afternoon. They actually took Rush's air slot.
Interesting.
They're the new like I guess you know, successors after the Rush Limbaugh show that they entrusted that slot to.
That demographic.
So they're the new Rush Limbaugh show, basically.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to check them out at some point when I'm not streaming. It says seriously.
Actually, Clay Travis and Buck Sexton together, man. That's actually a pretty damn good show. That's if I'm listening to the radio, that's like usually one of the talk radio shows I catch in the afternoon if I can.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Do me a favor then and send me like one of their best episodes, because I'm constantly like driving to and from work and I need something to like distract myself. I've been watching a lot of like do you ever watch How It Should Have Ended, the animated fucking channel with all the superheroes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just shit like that. But I'd like to check out who these people actually are. So it says seriously, people lost their damn minds over his tweet. Britt Nessie, Democratic Daisy. I don't even fucking know who these people are. Replying to Kevin, he goes, my pronoun is patriarch. And he goes, it's a noun, so is idiot. Okay, so they're going to start to attack his language because they disagree with what he has to say. And I'm sure you've seen this tactic 100 times. Kevin Sorbo was being witty. He was being profound. He was actually making a joke. And now all these people are going to come back and be like, well, your logic is unsound because what you said made no sense in context. Yeah, so those are verbs. Sure, keep banning books. And then the article author says, gosh, he, she, it sure showed Kevin Sorbo. Look at us being all sensitive and stuff to his, her, their pronoun. None of them have any sense of humor, and they prove it time and time again. And the only people trying to ban books are Democrats in the state of California. They seem to forget that. Poppy B. Dubs. These are just random fuckers at this point. If Kevin Sorbo had a career, he'd be an extra. Those aren't even pronouns. Those are verbs, genius. Jiddibidibadaboo, bippity boppity boo. So
well, you know what happened today, right? That the the DHS under our great president created a quote disinformation governance board dedicated to countering misinformation. So they basically just created a literal ministry of truth today.
Okay. Tell me, Drew, is the records about Kennedy still sealed? Didn't they vote to have him resealed? Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, this is at that place that the old movies all warned us about. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When the day that we would actually literally see in the United States essentially a ministry of information or a ministry of truth, if you will. It's like ridiculous.
So it looks like a Decepticon's back now that we're not talking about Star Wars anymore. And he says, I call Democrats donkey mouth because their symbol is a jackass and they speak out of their ass when they talk boom.
Well, you're right, Decepticon, and that's the thing. But now, I mean, literally, are we, and I'm going to ask this to you guys out loud. Are we getting to the point where, are we getting to that Minority Report level of thought crime and stuff like that? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, and I don't think it's as simple as wearing a blue tie or a red tie. It's about listening for extremism in the way that they wish to influence you. And I think the most critical thing is that you keep your own fucking goddamn head and be willing to listen to people and educate yourself and blah, 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 but not become a fucking puppet for either puppet master.
Here's the problem, though. You think for yourself. I mean, they're gonna basically brand you an enemy of the state. This is where we're getting, dude.
Yeah. Is that really a problem? Or is there a safer way to do that?
No, hey, listen, I'm all for being an enemy of the fucking state right now. I am, because that's just the way I am. I'm that guy. I mean, I'm ready to sit there and take up arms against these assholes. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll take up arms. I'll take up the information war, whatever it takes. I don't care. But
absolutely, the
thing is, just the average citizen thinking for themselves, we're on track with this thing that they made today, with them making that ministry of truth, to people having, being branded enemies of the state simply because they took an opposing viewpoint.
Yeah. Looks like we got Darius Munchausen.
What up,
Munchausen? Yeah, all these are cool motherfuckers. We're just in the savage den, just fucking hashing shit out. Let me ask you something, Supreme Heretic Drew, my good buddy. If you were to take up arms, would you care much if you had a stabby weapon, or would you like a black rifle of some kind?
Oh, I'd love me a fine rifle, but even if I went Duncan McLeod style, I'd be fine.
Yeah. Well, I got this article here from Forbes, actually, that talks about how Jack Nicholson's axe from The Shining could fetch up to $90,000 at the auction. Do you have $90,000, Drew? Could you,
dude? If I had
mofo alone,
dude, if I had $90,000 right now, I wouldn't be in the trouble I'm in. I would be like sitting here and like literally asking for the community, like, hey, pay for my mom's funeral. I mean, yeah, it just. Oh God, I'd give anything to have that right now, because I could just, I get that oh my God, that would like solve all my problems. Then I'd be able to keep the house.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny. So we were just talking about this. Stephen King is one of those kind of nut bags if you listen to what he has to say, but he wrote some damn good fiction.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to kind of reconcile this. And I actually know for a fact that Stephen King did not enjoy this movie. So but original theatrical props are worth like fucking bank. And it's funny, I find these articles about people who you know, they're walking around with their dog and their dog digs up like 1500-year-old gold coins and shit. But how many of these props are like sitting around in warehouses and could just be, you know, available?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you enjoy The Shining? Was that one of your movies back in the day?
That's a classic. I mean, my favorite, if you're gonna go horror suspense, is still to me, um, Halloween '78.
Oh, goddamn.
So that's that's always gonna be my all-time number one pick.
Yeah, my first movie was actually Return of the Jedi. And I don't remember a damn thing about it, but my dad fucking took me and sat me on his lap and, did all that kind of stuff. Well, this is from Forbes. It's from April 19, 5:23 p.m. A rare prop axe is expected to get a big bunch of money, and it has like one of these bullshit bullet point things. What's up, Drew, as a writer, as a professional journalist? What's up with this format where there's like a bunch of bullet points and there's, is that people on the shitter? Are these
That's
like
called
things? Go
that's
ahead.
called lazy fucking writing.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, there's a time and a place to write an article and maybe have some bullet points, whatever. But dude, you don't. Yeah, you don't do that.
Yeah. Are you ready much in your, current position? Are there ideas that you have that you haven't been able to communicate?
Um, I'm kind of ready to get back to writing for sure. I want to get, I do want to get back to that. It's just, you know, with uh, with
Shit
everything
like it
going on,
is. Yeah.
with shit
Yeah.
like it is at the moment, dude. The easiest vehicle that I have to do what I need to do right now is, my YouTube channel, and then, even if I go back and reopen my Twitch,
Yeah.
because the harsh truth with being a freelance writer,
Mhm.
and anybody out there, this is the God's honest truth, and it's nothing against Bounding, it's nothing against any outlet, but writing is a rather thankless job, especially when you're a freelancer, and you're a freelance journalist, because you don't get paid for shit per article. That's just the way it is.
Mhm.
And, it doesn't matter which way the outlet that you write for leans. That's just, unfortunately, the way it is around the industry. And it sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. Either you choose to eat the shit sandwich or you don't. But the thing is, hey, listen, you know, I could sit there and try to write 20 articles a week just to make $200, or I can go on my YouTube channel and make that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So, so I'm gonna go to my YouTube channel more every single time. So
We have Darius chiming in saying he's thankful for Bounding into Comics, Andrew. So you are doing shit that matters to like real motherfuckers, you know?
Oh yeah, man. Because my biggest thing is, even when I'm writing stuff for Bounding, because I'm careful about the topics I pick. I'll pitch something to John or Spencer, and I'll be like, I feel really passionate about this. I want to write about this. Because everything that I'm going to put out there, whether it's something on my YouTube channel, whether it's something, that I'm going to write for Bounding, is going to bring some type of raise awareness to something or bring some type of truth to the table. I'm not going to just write, a shitty puff piece or conversely a hit piece on anything. I'm just going to bring like some awareness to the table
Yeah.
of whatever it is I'm writing on. Because I ain't into like that puff piece writing or that hit piece writing. Because to me that's like trash tier. If you're gonna write something about something you're passionate about, and try to make people aware of things surrounding it. So I'm going to write about the Halo TV show, or I'm going to talk about the Halo TV show. I'm gonna write something about a political candidate, and I'm going to interview a political candidate. I'm not going to just sit there and well, blah 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 is great, and they're going to serve in a wonderful capacity, and they're going to do they're going to follow the will of the people, and they're groundbreaking and blah blah blah. I'm not writing a fucking puff piece. I'm gonna question a motherfucker.
So that's interesting. We got Decepticon King saying you were at a comic place and you got info on bad ideas and blah blah blah. So if you have an idea of something like that, how would you frame a question to somebody that might have a bad reputation? Do you approach that gingerly, or do you just like go for the fucking throat?
No, you just put out there and you phrase it to them. Look, it's been said in different circles that in the past you've used this, and this to gain notoriety. How do you respond to that? That's all. You put out there you relay what people are what accusations or what preconceived ideas people have, particularly about a person, to them, and you let them give their fair response to it. And if you don't feel like it's the right response, then you're entitled to still keep your opinion that they're a shitty person, but maybe they are giving you the truth. So you never know. But there is a way to be professional and go about posing questions.
Oh, look, I was trying to be profound. Decepticon King says, no, it's a comic book company called Bad Idea Comics. Now, Bad Idea Donuts. You do stories on comic book places. Sorry, bad.
Well, Decepticon, look, the outlet I write for Mounting into Comics. We cover mainly, we do cover the industry. We cover comic book industry in general, but mainly we cover the bigger, obviously the big two, and we cover anime, manga, stuff like that. And the rest of the articles that we have are mainly entertainment news and celebrity news and things like that. We're an entertainment website, so that's what we do. We write about the culture war. So with Bounding, it's a different wheelhouse than what it is for me in my political journalism endeavors, because that to me is the more rewarding of the two, only because I feel like the culture war on the entertainment side is a ripple in the pond. The the political journalism I do, the political commentary I do, that's going after the whole pond. So, I'd rather go after the whole pond than just chase ripples.
Yeah. Well said. So I want to ask you, Drew, have you seen the Thor Love and Thunder trailer?
Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah. What'd you think, man? I was gonna do a live reaction. I do not
Thumbs
have...
down, because there's no fucking Beta Ray Bill. Enough said.
Yeah. Is this even worth watching? Like
Nope.
You're just gonna
Nope.
fucking thumbs down.
Nope.
Okay. What do you think about well, okay, let's get a little fucking out there. What do you think about UFOs? Have you ever seen one? Do you believe that there's life in the universe? Blah blah blah.
Oh, I've seen one, man. I bet.
Yeah.
Man, that show that I used to do on Sundays with Final, the one that Final was doing,
Final Death Star, another
our boy.
Yes,
Our boy
love that
Final.
motherfucker. Yeah.
I love Jason. Yeah, like when we were doing Enter the Unfamiliar, dude. Oh god, we used to talk about all that UFOs and cryptids and everything. Which, by the way, it's like I told you that last time, man. We should do a show about that.
Well, and I wanted to ask you, is that something that you have to filter through faith, or are you thinking it's some sort of natural phenomenon, or is it some sort of, something that we don't understand? That's just because we have monkey brain.
The unexplained is the unexplained for a reason. It's because, it's just something that hasn't been, introduced to the knowledge base yet. I mean, people don't have an understanding of something. It's undefined. So, and I fully believe at some point there's going to be an explanation for Sasquatch. I fully believe at some point there's going to be an explanation for UFOs.
Yeah, well, and we've seen where like the U.S. Navy has released footage from fighter planes flying, doing fighter plane shit. And then there are these UFOs that are just like bouncing around and doing things that human science has either suppressed to explain or has failed to explain.
Well, you got to remember too, we have a lot of shit in the military industrial complex for in terms of where black budget projects go, black budget money that go to those projects.
Right.
You don't know what our actual technology level is, because you know what? They're never going to tell you that.
All the reading that I've been exposed to says that we're at least I don't know, 500 years behind what the actual government possesses in terms of technology. And that's an at least. I've heard and I've read shit where it says that we can take ET home. And that's up for the fucking masses to decide if that's what they want to believe. That's just what I've read.
Well, I'm gonna run because I've got it's 10 minutes after 11 here. I gotta
do your thing, buddy. I have another article, but fucking hop off and I will close this shit out. Love you, and I hope everything goes swimmingly. You're a good man. Everybody go and follow this guy. Check out his YouTube, check out his Twitter, check out his Patreon, all that fucking shit.
No, the main thing right now, that I want to keep out in the consciousness, and for those of you guys that are watching, just check out the gibsongo.com, because that's where I have the let me pull it up. Actually, I'll share the screen in a second. That's where I have the memorial fund for my mom, and that's
Yes.
and it's important to me because right now that's the only way I'm able to stay alive at the very moment, and I still got to pay for my mom's final expenses, the whole nine
Yes.
yards. So, I'm hoping that we can fund this thing, so I'm able to do that. So this will give you an idea of it. It's gibsandgo.com/the Taylor Legacy, and this is what it is right here. So far, we've raised $3,400, but the goal is $20K. And I've had people ask the question, well, why do you make the goal $20K? Well, I can tell you, it's $6,000 alone for my mom's funeral, okay, and then on top of that, you're looking at $2,000 a month to try to live off of. So you've got that, and then not only on top of that, I also have the expense of the lawyer and the probate and everything else there. So this $20K will be spoken for by all those things I just rattled off. So it's not like I'm going to sit here with $20K and have a party. That's not what this is at all. So.
So you guys check out the Gibson
Go.
Go. Yeah. Andrea Taylor. Is it Andrea or Andrea?
Andrea Taylor Memorial Fund.
Yes. Check that out. She was a lovely woman. Supreme Heretic is a brother. He is a good friend of the channel. He just needs a little help. So check it out.
Yep. And all right, guys. Well, I'm as far as my programming, you catch me Tuesdays doing United Resistance, Thursday doing Pegasus Actual if you're a Battlestar Galactica fan, and we'll have Pegasus Actual tomorrow. And so Tuesday we'll have United Resistance coming up. I've got former late great 90s adult film star Jasmine St. Clair will be on the show with us on United Resistance. So, make sure that you check that out. It's our second appearance now, so it'll be awesome. Rookie Critics in the house. What up, Jeff?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
The Rookie Critic is a great guy.
One of
Jeff's my first friends.
Jeff's awesome. Jasmine St. Clair. Rookie Critic, Saint Clair, yeah.
Yeah. She was a 90s girl. You'd dig her.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of people did.
Yeah, they dug her out. All right, Drew. Well, I wish you well on your fucking journey, man. Thank you for coming and spending time with us. And we will catch you around later.
Yep. Peace out, folks.
All right. Take it easy, buddy. All right. I got one last piece to present to you guys, and then I will jump off your jocks. This is kind of what I was talking to him about before, do you believe in life in the universe and blah, blah, blah. This is an official live science government fucking release, and this is one of those quiet things that they don't want to openly advertise because it's one of those we might blow your mind outside the box that we're trying to keep you in, this energy net that's constituted around planet Earth. This article claims, and this is by Brandon Spector, published 22 days ago, which would be April 5th, 2022. 15,000 pages, 1,500 pages of UFO related research were just declassified as part of a Freedom of Information Act request. And this is one of those quiet things where, like, if you make the request and you do it through the proper channels and you make it one of those things that happily satisfy the bureaucrats that are trying to justify their life by means of extreme budgets, then you might actually at some point stand a chance of getting something truthful. UFO left, quote, radiation burns and, quote, unaccounted for pregnancies, new Pentagon report claims. Encounters with UFOs have reportedly left Americans suffering from radiation burns, brain and nervous system damage, and even, quote, unaccounted for pregnancy, end quote. And that's the interesting part right there. According to a massive database of U.S. government reports recently made public through a Freedom of Information Act FOIA request, the database of documents includes more than 1,500 pages of UFO-related material from the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, ATIP, a secretive U.S. Department of Defense program that ran from 2007 to 2012. Despite never being classified as secret or top secret, the ATIP only became known to the public in 2017 when former program director Luis Elizondo resigned from the Pentagon and released several now infamous videos of an unidentified aircraft moving in seemingly impossible ways to the media. This might be the leak that we're speaking of. Shortly after the ATIP's existence was revealed, the U.S. outpost of the British tabloid The Sun filed a FOIA request for any and all documents related to the program. 4 years later, on April 5th, 2022, the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, honored the request by releasing more than 1,574 pages of material to The Sun. According to The Sun, the cache of documents includes reports on the biological effects of UFO sightings on humans, studies on advanced technologies such as invisibility cloaks, and the plans for deep space exploration and colonization. Some portions of the document were, quote, withheld in part for privacy and confidentiality concerns, the ATIP told The Sun. One standout document from the collection is a report entitled Anonymous Acute and Subacute Field Effects on Human and Biological Tissues, dated March 2010. The report describes alleged injuries to, quote, human observers by anomalous advanced aerospace systems, end quote, some of which may be, quote, a threat to United States interest, end quote, according to the document. Who are they talking about? Who are they talking about? Which include UFOs. In some cases, humans shown burn injuries or other conditions related to electromagnetic radiation. The report said some of them appearing to have been inflicted by energy-related propulsion systems. And that is a quote. The report also notices case of brain damage, nerve damage, heart palpitations, headaches related to anomalous vehicle encounters. Now, from a medical perspective, you understand that they have to demonstrate and start from the smallest injurious event, right? So if your DNA breaks down, if your cell walls break down, if your cytoplasm is disrupted, if your organelles, or if your skin as a system, or if your lungs, or if your liver, or if your bladder, or if your prostate or your uterus are affected as systems, they have to build a case for us to understand the things that they are reporting. And what they're reporting in this livescience.com article is the effects that human encounters with extraterrestrial, either scout craft or something that can come down and do studies, have on the human biological system. And this is a report that is gleaned from a Freedom of Information Act request. This is a report that is sourced from the government that Live Science is just reporting to us. I think that Live Science is one of those like mediums that they hope that they could just kind of like, yeah, we did that, we reported that, we sent that out, and then nobody's gonna know because Johnny Depp is suing Amber Heard. The report describes 42 cases from medical files and 300 unpublished, and that's a quote, cases where humans sustained injuries after alleged encounters with, quote, anomalous vehicles, which include UFOs. And I just read that. It is unclear what kind of vetting process, if any, the ATIP used to investigate these alleged cases. I doubt that. This is a government agency writing reports to the government that the government saved, and then after people requested it, was sent out to them. So this is kind of fucked. The report also includes a list of alleged biological effects of UFO sightings on human observers between 1873 and 1994, compiled by MUFON. And MUFON started off meaning well, but I think that they were co-opted. A civilian nonprofit group that studies reported UFOs, blah, blah, blah. The report concludes that there is sufficient evidence to, quote, support a hypothesis that some advanced systems are already deployed and opaque to full U.S. understandings. For more details, contact the Sun Report. And then this is some of the leaked UFO footage. This is very famous. This came out years ago. This object was tracked through multiple spectrums. It was attempted to be missile locked upon, and then it just defied physics as humans understand them. Right now, we're at a hard bank to the left. This thing is posing for the camera, it looks like. We're examining it. We can see in the image profile the rough shape of the airplane in the center with two kind of bracket things that point below it that represents the missiles. It's attempting to engage lock. This thing is performing. I mean, we can see its airspeed. I would need a Navy pilot to explain all this stuff to me. A lot of this is above my pay grade, but I see 19,000, 20,000. There's a flashing B. This thing is moving almost quicker than this plane can track it. And I don't know, was this guy put up to it? Was he, was he playing with it? Was he trying to see if what do you have versus what we have? I don't know. But this is some like no shit journalism. So I'd like to thank you for joining me tonight. This is one of those things where I think we kind of like chased through multiple topics where we had some fun, we talked some shit, we did some things. People came, people went. It was great. George Lucas joining us at the end of the show. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'd like to ask you all one last time before we leave the show lift high whatever it is you are imbibing, and join me in the savage salute. Here's to us. What is like us? And not a goddamn thing. And that tastes exactly like what you would think licking a UFO would taste like.